like you. Disgust me, just don't touch me. You're ugly, just don't touch me. You're ugly. These women love me, bro. They tryna me. That's the wrong way, the wrong way. Back your buddy, if you get lucky, it'll get yucky. Little buddy touch me, I can turn auntie into a. I'm in the S5 facing cuffy, cause I can't name that guy but me, dummy. Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Tryna slow down my motion. It's written, you cannot control.
The excitement in the air is palpable for everyone here. It's playoff football time. Postseason action descending upon Commanders Field just outside of D.C. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And bulldozing his way through. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Here we go, son.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Here we go. Go.
Back to throw. Fields. Oh, his first throw of his playoff matchup is intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. He's to the 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Well, on the opening drive, he was looking for a big chunk play. Unfortunately, that time, the secondary was ready for it. Charles picked it off. Not only that, they take it the other way for points.
Homework, preparation, research, it all comes back to that, VJ. Scouting your opponent, not just the players, but the coaches, too. And seeing what they call to begin a game, find out their tendencies. They recognize the early deep ball was part of their opposing game plan, and they weren't caught off guard when it showed up.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Here is 3rd down and 4. Off play action, Fields. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
Don't jump. Ready?
Now Fields. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. That's out wide here for Robinson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Angel. Right.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got him in, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Here we go. We're good. Right.
Out of the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Go.
From the 50, here's Fields. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now, how about this? They'll change it at the line. They snap it to Fields. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Packers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Fields going to move him around.
Tonight.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
No gain on the play there, second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's second and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Pass caught, it's Romeo Doubs. 5 yards, now it's third and 5.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely to pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Play fake. Here's Love. Rolling to his right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Here's Love. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Barney, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now Love. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And that is incomplete here.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Second and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Matt LaFleur, some confidence in his offense. His guys going here on 4th down. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. In motion goes the tight end. On 4th down, Love. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6.
And it's a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for it. Offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go, tonight.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Fields He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Now a 2nd and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Now it's Fields. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here we go.
Throwing again is Fields. Checks this one down to Robinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Easy. Right.
From the gun, here's Fields. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They love to try to take advantage of his height, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to run it back and try it again, maybe with a little less mustard on the throw.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. A shotgun snap. Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Here we go.
To the air again, Fields. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Out, let's go. Extend.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Hey, can.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Hey, 551. Alpha.
In motion, the tight end.
Easy. Hey, can. Tonight.
Here's Fields. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone is hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Right.
Fields now to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they've been the better of the 2 teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And he wisely will throw that one away.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Love now. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Jeremy Chinn picks it off. Now he's loose at the 40. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. But pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Here we go. Right.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Here we go. Go.
Robinson on a give right side. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Here we go, tonight.
Here's Fields. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field, get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
Here we go, tonight.
Here we go on 4th down, Fields. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new, it worked there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Right.
To throw is Fields.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Love.
Short throw. He's got Kraft. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play play, even though it was complete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to try and throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Once again, it's Jacobs. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Keely Ringo picks it off. And the Commanders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. In motion left is Watkins. Back to throw, Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Packers continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Here we go, side. Right.
Now Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Quez Watkins, 47 yards. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and it makes the score 21-10. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And now 1st downs are key. They want to keep that clock moving, up by 2 scores as they try to cement their place. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 106 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser, who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Packers.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score, Packers 28, Commanders 10. Brendan McManus set to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It certainly has not been the outing that they envisioned on their home turf in the divisional round of the playoffs, and they have been pushed around, and now their backs against the wall. On play action, Fields. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Off play action, Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And yet again, it's McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go, son. EQ. Jump slant. Side.
Play action. It's Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. 46 yards. And the Commanders have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. Fields trying to throw for it. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. And that'll make this a 10-point game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he has a Packer first down, and that should be the one that finishes the script. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And room there to work it inside the 25. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stumped the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first.
Level sneaking. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. This is 1st and 10.
Here we go. Go.
Now Fields.
And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you've often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
Here we go, Snot. Angel, Angel, Angel. Right.
And one last throw here for Fields.
He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
The Packers are moving on as we say thanks for watching and so long.